Right, get your secretary to take this down. Oh, and if you haven't got a secretary, you're going to have to remember it yourself. You ready? This is what's coming up. A way to get fantastic water effects into your pictures. And this big art attack is a real hoot. And check out how to make your pictures only half spooky. Did you get that? Oh, look at this lot. Don't you just hate tidying up? Hanging up your clothes? I know I do. Wouldn't you just love something to save you the bother? You know, something to come on in, take control and do it all for you. I mean, wouldn't it be fantastic if something could just charge straight in here and help tidy this lot up? Well, it just did. Look at that. A charging rhino. He's charged right through the wall, ready for me to hang my stuff on. Look at that. You can put all sorts on his ears, on his horn, even on his head. And look at that. There's another one over there. A bull. Again, he's charged right in. Looks good, doesn't it? And not only do they look authentic, they help you tidy your room. You can just hang stuff on their head, on their horns, and even on the bull, on his ring there, like that. Look at that. Something red for him, I think. Want to make one? Here's what you do. A 4-part attack. Cut a fat figure 8 shape from a piece of cardboard box card for your charger's head. Now this is going to be a rhino, so scrunch up a load of newspaper into a large pillow shape and tape it onto your card. Now you'll need lots of tape for this one. Then scrunch some more newspaper that's slightly smaller and triangular in shape and tape that on top of the pillow of newspaper at one end, with the pointy end upwards and the wide end at the bottom for the rhino's nostrils. And again, use plenty of tape. So, put on loads of tape and you have the basic shape of your rhino's head. Now you need to build up all the details of your rhino's face. And again, newspaper is great for this because it's really versatile. You can tear off just the amount you want, and with a bit of tape, you can shape and sculpt it however you like. Perfect for detail. Tape 2 newspaper eyes either side of your rhino's head. Now I'm using double-sided tape for this. And use flat rolls of newspaper over the top of each eye to make eyelids. Then fold a sheet of newspaper into a diamond shape to make an ear and tape that into place at the top of the head and do a second one in the same way. And thin strips of newspaper also make good nostrils. And pop these on. And don't forget, rhinos have 2 horns, so you need to make 2 cones from card, one bigger than the other. To make a cone, take a semicircle of thin card and press your finger in the middle of the straight edge and roll the card around it. And where your finger is will be the point of the cone. And then you hold it into place with some tape. Then tape the bigger horn onto your rhino's nose. And the small horn goes behind this one, between the eyes. Just make some small cuts in the base of the cone to help it fit better. Then take a thin sausage of newspaper and wrap it around the base of the big horn, again taping it into place. So the newspaper head should now be starting to look pretty rhino-like, but now he needs some rhino skin. For the skin, mix some PVA glue half and half with water and paste on a layer of tissue paper all over the rhino's head. Now you don't have to be neat, as rhino skin is pretty rough. The idea is to just seal over all the details and joins. And when you've covered the whole thing and it's dry, you can paint it. And of course rhinos are grey, but you can pick out details in darker areas like the eyes by adding a bit of black. And you can even streak in some lighter shades like on the horn using white paint. And when you finish painting him, you'll have a fantastic rhino head. Look at that. And I've even put in the detail on his eyes with some black marker pen. Brilliant. Now you need to make the background that he's charged through. For this, you're going to need some more cardboard box card. Take your rhino's head and draw around it onto a larger piece of cardboard box card. Then, using more scrap cardboard, cut out brick shapes and roughly place them into position on your cardboard. When you've done that, place some smaller broken bricks on top of your brick wall design to add to the 3D effect. And when you're happy, glue them into position. On go the bricks, and on go the broken bricks. And when they've dried, cut around the edge of your design and give it a layer of kitchen towel and PVA glue. Cover the whole thing, sealing over all of the joins. And when it's dry, you can paint it to look like a brick wall. So use a light ochre around the edge of the bricks and a ready brown for the bricks themselves. And once it's painted, you just need to secure your rhino's head into position using lots of PVA glue. And don't forget, press it down firmly. And when it's all dry, it's ready to hang on your wall, and you can hang all your bits and pieces on him, on his horn and on his ears. Brilliant, helps you tidy your room there, doesn't he? There he is. And the broken brick effect really makes it look as if he's charged right through the wall at you. And you don't have to just do a rhino. What about, a unicorn with a perfect horn for hanging bits of jewellery on and scarves? Or how about a goat charging in, ready for you to hang things on? And I've made a fence for him to burst through out of cardboard strips. Try it yourself, chargers. Here's a great way of drawing a spooky picture. Draw half a spooky picture. Now the idea is to draw a picture of a monster or ghost or anything gruesome onto a piece of black paper. And here the picture is. Now I know you can't see anything, that's because I've drawn it in dark pencil. But if you keep looking at it, you might just be able to pick out some of the lines. But okay, what's the use of a picture you can't see? Well, that's where this stuff comes in. Moonlight. Now the idea is to just redraw half the picture in white crayon or chalk, but just draw the bits of the outline of your picture that face the moon. So okay, here we go. Now I'm going to start here and begin by drawing in the shape of a head. I'm just going to pick out the edge of the body as well. And you can even smudge the lines just to hint at the shapes on your picture. See that? And this technique works really well on spooky pictures. And this scary character is going to have a claw-like hand, so pick out the claws in the moonlight. Just around the edges like that. And of course, like all spooky pictures, there's a haunted house in the distance. Just make sure you pick out the edge facing the moon each time. And even though you're only drawing half of the lines, you can see that the picture is starting to take shape. Don't forget to hint at the background as well. And like all spooky pictures, there's a damsel in distress. Using your chalk, just pick out the image of her cowering like that. And if you just draw half a picture, you get this really atmospheric spooky effect. And finally, just smudge the moon and add on some spooky bats as a finishing touch. It almost looks like a horror movie, doesn't it? Spooky. Try it yourself. Use a white crayon or chalk to pick out the edges of a monster that faces the moonlight and create a spooky picture. Well, half a spooky picture. Okay, let's have a look at some of your art attacks. Please keep them coming in, because they're fantastic, and they all go in the Art Attack Gallery. Ah, yes, the soft colours of the chalk pastels give a beautiful effect in Anna's picture, don't they? It reminds me of a hazy day on my summer holidays. And here's a picture that knows no bounds. I really love the way Jessica's collage of paint and various materials even escapes off the edges. And take a look at this art attack by George. I love using charcoal myself, and these elephants have great tone and texture, and using a rubber to create highlights works brilliantly. And this is a good technique. Using the shape of a Scotty dog as a template, Molly has created even more Scotty dogs, each one coloured differently from the last. Yeah, great art attack, Molly. You know, you can get some great effects using templates, and that's reminded me of a really cool idea I can show you for jazzing up your stationery. Now, look at these envelopes. Yep, they're just boring old envelopes. But if you very carefully open one of these out, you can use it as an envelope template. Just drag those bits apart like that. I'll show you what I mean. Pick some nice pattern paper. It can be old wrapping paper or a page from a comic or magazine. That always looks good. Now, you could even colour in a pattern yourself. And the idea is to place your envelope template on it and carefully draw around its shape. When you've done that, cut it out and fold your new envelope into shape. Now, you can use your template as a guide for doing this. Just fold it over, one flap there like that, one over there like that, the other one over there like that. You might need to keep referring to your original envelope. and then that flap down like that. Now you need to run some glue along these two edges down at the bottom. So a bit down there and a bit down there. This is to just glue your envelope back to shape. Put those flaps down there, over it goes. And there is a real funky, personalised envelope to pop your letters in. Much cooler than the boring old white ones, eh? Good. So let's have a look at some more of your art attacks. Now, Danielle's picture really gives a sense of the heat of the desert. I particularly like the contrast between the simple silhouettes of the tree and birds and the detail on the snake's body. And this delicate chalk picture by Alana shows just how versatile this medium can be. The colours smudged together beautifully, perfect for capturing the look of soft feathers. Wow, look at this fantastic painting of Tutankhamun's burial mask. I love the vibrant reds and blues against the gold. Nice one, Alice. Now, this picture by Kerry is very effective. She's really managed to capture the impression of a waterfall cascading into a pool below. Yeah, great watery picture, Kerry. Hey, it really captured the movement of water. And do you know what? It's inspired me to try and capture the movement of a waterfall as well. Watch this. It's really easy and great fun to do. Take a white wax crayon or a candle and some white paper. Then simply make bold scribbly strokes in a sort of curve from the top to the bottom of your page. Now, I know you can't see anything at the moment, but all will become very clear very shortly. Then at the bottom of the paper, scribble round in messy circles like this. Great fun. Next, you're going to need some watered down poster paint in blue and maybe green, and just wash the paint on in the same direction as the wax crayon, and suddenly a waterfall starts to appear. Especially when you add the water crashing down at the bottom there like that. And then add in some green, and the white wax resists the paint and gives you this fantastic watery effect. Just splish it and splash it on. And then you leave it to dry, and when it's dry you can really finish it off by drawing and cutting out some little action figures and really bring it to life. How about a daredevil canoeist? He was shooting the rapids, but he went a bit too far. Or how about these fish jumping upstream? Or how about this mad diver? Look at that. He's really gone over the edge. Splash. Try it yourself. Have fun splashing some paint around and make a waterfall picture.
TVO kids, you should really take part in the Royals Winter Safety Contest. You take the quiz at tvokids.com. It takes you like 30 seconds. And the grand prize, of course, is an amazing gaming system. We're giving away 2 of these next Thursday. The contest wraps up on Wednesday. So log on this weekend. You can also draw as a pitcher. Let's get